All right, cool. So apologies for the lack of content over the last week or so. I've just been a bit ill. I haven't been able to record too much. We're not actually going to include the whiteboard in this video. I'm just going to go ahead and do majority of the drawings inside of TradingView, and yeah, I slowly just want to ease back into content and actually get some stuff out there for you guys. I had this specific video planned, and I don't really want the time to pass. I want to basically cover the trade before the price action is really not expired, but like, gone past a far amount. So in this one, we're going to talk about how to trade a consolidation. This isn't just the generic advice that you'll find anywhere. I'll show you what the generic advice is as well if you don't know what the generic advice is. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you basically like a 3-4 step method on how I would go ahead and find high probability conditions inside of this. Okay. Now the generic advice is this. It's basically just waiting for price to purge one side of a consolidation and then trade back into the 50% of the range. There are a couple other methods like waiting for like short-term highs inside of a consolidation, which are less probable or less high probable. But I'm going to show you how I called this trade inside of DXY and then actually went and traded it on GU, and how we framed the idea, what we used, and all that good stuff. So as you guys probably know by now, I like to just show the concepts actually being used and called sort of beforehand, which I don't always do, but a lot of the time I do. So in this one, we're in the consolidation. This is the price action I'm about to show you, and this is me basically just showing entry, etc., blah blah blah, right? I'm just showing you from a beforehand experience, right? Me calling the move, blah blah blah. I know a lot of people like to see this, so here it is. Okay, this is on the 24th. You can check all the timestamps. If you want to see these screenshots, you can just go ahead inside the Discord and go to trade recap, and if you scroll to this date here, 24/09, you'll be able to see the screenshots. And this is basically what I called, but I'm going to show you this in the charts anyway. Okay, so we're in a consolidation, right? You can all agree. Of course, we're in a sort of a more larger, higher time frame consolidation, but in terms of the daily chart and it actually going anywhere, okay, you can clearly see we weren't moving at all. We were just up, down, up, down, up, down. So the move we're actually going to call is inside of this day. So you can see this day really made a run for some, let's say the consolidation low, right, and an internal low inside of it, okay, and that's the move we're actually looking for. We're looking for a move internal inside the range to actually go ahead and reach for one of the consolidation high or low. So let's go ahead and evaluate this. So the first thing you want to do is basically read the liquidity, okay, and I'm going to replay it back to where I called it out, which is somewhere like this. So first of all, we've got to understand we're in a consolidation, number one. So we're not trying to call a really big move here. We're just looking at where has liquidity been taken, which is the first step. Number two is where can price go ahead and target, number two. And then number three, we want to use London session to actually pave the way for us, which I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so in this example, price has swept liquidity to one side of the market, right? So understanding that, okay, cool. There was some sort of order pairing at the top here, and then price has moved lower. Cool. Price has then retraced, right? Likely to be an OTE retracement from here to here. Price has done the same thing. It's went ahead, swept out liquidity, okay, and then moved lower, right? And if I just show you on the 15-minute quickly, this is Asia, this is London. So step number three is basically seeing an impulse in London. After London gives us an impulse, we then want to go ahead and see an expansion during New York. So if I just go back to the 1 hour, we understand that smart money has gone ahead and paired orders above these highs. So that's number one, is basically where has the liquidity been taken. So it's on the upside. We then want to see, is there a clean sort of equal lows target to the downside that it makes sense where smart money would look to offload their positions. Well, you can see all this low resistance liquidity, right? Equal low, equal low, equal low, equal low. Okay, crap ton of liquidity down here, all good liquidity. So that's going to be our target. So what essentially, or the way ICT actually phrases this, as he talks about it like teeth. he says that you want to look for jagged edges and smooth edges. So he would say, oh, this is a jagged edge where price has taken out liquidity, for example. This down here is a smooth edge, low resistance liquidity. Okay, so that would be where price would naturally go ahead and gravitate towards. But we're adding in the smart money logic as well, which is where orders are being paired and where orders would want to get distributed to, and then coincide within that. If that was the only framework, I wouldn't feel that comfortable in this setup. But it's also the fact that we have the daily cycle behind us, so the Asia and the London the London expansion, that really gives us that confidence to say, look, we've expanded during London, we've left all the liquidity intact. I want to see a pre-New York retracement into a valid PD array, and this is the one that I ended up calling. If you go and check those screenshots out from earlier, it was this FEG that I wanted to see basically get interacted with. So the 12 o'clock candle goes ahead and fills out the hourly FEG. Okay, once we do that, we now want to see the next hourly candle, or it makes sense to see the next hourly candle go ahead and expand lower. By the way, this 12 o'clock is the first hour of New York kill zone for UK time people, basically. So that's 7 a.m. for you guys who are looking at it in Eastern Standard Time. So New York's gone ahead and filled an hourly FEG in the first hour. I then, from there, right, you don't even need to go on the lower time frame. Like literally, we filled an FEG inside the first hour of New York. You can just say, cool, next hour we should go and displace lower. And I'll just show you. That's exactly what we get, and that's the move that I went ahead and caught inside of GU. We can also go ahead on the lower time frames. You can see how we swept some sort of internal liquidity right there, and we had a market structure shift beneath this low plus an FEG. So literally after the hourly had closed, you could just go ahead and execute, and then yeah, we just run very, very, very aggressively. We even do have a little retracement back into an FEG, and then a really nice expansion to the downside. Okay, and that ends up running a lot further as well. Okay, if we play another hour, that's the end of New York kill zone, and then the start of London close goes ahead and runs pretty aggressively to the downside as well. So again, just to recap the 4 points. 1 is locating where the liquidity was taken, tick. Number 2 is identifying some sort of smooth low resistance liquidity target that is still intact, 2. Number 3, waiting for waiting for London to impulse, check number 3. And then number 4 is just basically looking for New York to impulse lower. Okay, if we go ahead and we look at GU, which was the trade that I did actually take, yeah, okay, it's actually on there. I wasn't anticipating that to be on there. So again, same thing. GU had swept out liquidity. Is that the right date? We'll see in a minute. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. So anyway, we took out liquidity on GU. I'm not going to do a higher time frame breakdown on this. It's unnecessary. We've already got GU as framework. Swept liquidity, expanded higher. Hourly FEG was available. That got filled. There's nowhere else for this to go. Yeah. So the next hourly candle, we're anticipating to rock it pretty much. Okay. On this, very, very, very simple. We had a market structure shift above a swing high. CSD from sell side to buy side delivery, and then in terms of target, we have a nice easy one right there. Yeah, it goes ahead and runs for a 3R. Okay, so that is pretty much everything. I don't really see anyone incorporating daily profiles into a consolidation, so what I would do is go ahead and try this out, give it a go. This is something that definitely does work. I've talked about the classic expansion with London expanding and then New York expanding a lot. And I'm even showing you these concepts that work in a consolidation environment. So you can really use this in a plethora of different environments. It's very effective. And yeah, just go ahead, backtest this. Maybe put inside of the comments your results if you notice this works or it doesn't work. I'd love your feedback. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one.